all, whether you are online or in the audience, we are so excited to be here with you today. A bunch of teenagers hanging out, figuring out Jesus and life together. So before we get to tonight's stuff, we have some announcements for you. What do we have, AJ?
Tonight, there's an after party after youth group. There will be donuts for $1. There will be board games galore, and there will be the most epic round of Mafia any of you have ever been involved in. Be there or be square.
Yes, I've heard a rumor that Delaney is always the Mafia. We shall see tonight. All right, who's going to camp? All right, I have officially in my inbox today received everything we need to get ready for camp, so that will be ready next week. And if you want to earn money to go to camp, we have a bunch of opportunities for you. Starting with this Saturday, there are 2 openings for you to earn $40 to go to camp by helping someone move. So see me tonight. First come, first serve on those. Texting does not count. You have to come talk to me. And we will get you hooked up for those because Camp 21 is on.
Next Thursday is our annual youth group birthday. Isn't that funny how that happens? Yes, so it's our birthday. So bring a friend, show up, bring some extra money for STL, all that cool stuff. How else should you celebrate besides saving people's souls? So be here for that.
All right, so we have a long-awaited worship night coming up, which is going to be the week after our birthday, so 2 weeks from tonight. And we have a planning meeting for that, so if you want your voice about what you want at your worship night, what you want sung at your worship night, what you want to do at your worship night, what you want your worship night to feel, then stay after church really quick next Sunday, and we will have some snacks and dream for worship night. I think that's it. Is that it?
That's it, except for the fact that I want to point out that you remind me of the guy from Mad TV, and he's like, look what I can do, when you were dancing. And I thought it was epic.
Jesse for the win. All right, before we get to tonight's stuff, I actually have one more announcement. There's 2 teenagers living beyond normal and 3 bracelets. What's up with that? We have a little sibling rivalry going on because you heard me mention it a little bit last week that Nate and Nicholas are part of something called FCA, which is Fellowship of Christian Athletes, and they meet with athletes all around Clark County that love Jesus, and they just pray and they worship. And they do it right, and they do it hard, and it is amazing. So if you are an athlete and you want to be part of that, let me know. But before that, I have a Living Beyond Normal bracelet for them for that. But one of them gets 2 bracelets. Which one do you think it is? I will end the suspense and tell you it is Nicholas because he's actually teaching one of the breakouts tonight. He's the only teenager doing it. So give it up for these 2 as they come get their bracelets. Way to be. Smile at the camera while you leave. There we go. Okay. All right. So as mentioned, tonight is about breakouts. And what that means is there's going to be 4 options for you, and you get to break out into the one you want, and you're going to pick the topic, and then we're going to talk about it and come back and worship. So I'm going to get us ready with a verse that will get us ready for why we do breakouts and why they're important. So it'll come up on your screen. If not, if you're online, just listen up. Here's what it says. Dear friends, that's you. Now, this is not Jesus talking. This is Paul talking as he's writing to this church in Philippi, and he's saying this. Dear friends, you always followed my instructions when I was with you, and now that I'm away, it's even more important. So he had planted this church, and there's all these people doing awesome things, and he has to go check on other churches, and he's like, you guys are doing so awesome. You were awesome when I was there, and now that I've left, you're still doing great. And here's what we need to do. Work hard to show the results of your salvation, obeying God with deep reverence and fear. So there's a lot of things in that verse that we need to unpack before we head to breakouts. And one of those is it's saying, work hard to show the results of your salvation. Now, sometimes you hear that being said, work out your own salvation. And sometimes people think that means I have to work for my salvation, like I have to do good things so God will accept me. That's the exact opposite of Christianity. So that can't be what he's saying. So what is he saying? He's saying our salvation should then produce something. Our salvation should result in something. If we've been actually changed, then we should act changed. And we should do that with fear and trembling. Now, does that mean you need to be afraid of God? No. In the Old Testament, there is a lot of holy fear because they had to pay for what they did wrong. They didn't have Jesus yet, right? But it's really saying, the word for that in this verse says, remove yourself to avoid something. So it's saying, I know how important this is, so I'm going to make sure I do it. I want to avoid the results of aiming myself not well because it's that important. And so we're going to take a look at that tonight, and that's exactly what breakouts are for, right? Working out the results of your salvation. We've had everything from learning how to change a tire to Jesus is coming back. And so we're going to figure out what you want to do, what topic you want to work out your salvation. So I'm going to read you a quote. It's from a study that I did on a word of the Bible, and here's what I want you guys to get. It's not going to come up on your screen, so listen up about what we're doing tonight. It says, considering the difficulty of the work and the danger of doing it wrong. So that's talking about living for God. A lot is on the line. Consider the danger of doing it wrong. If you don't watch and pray and continually depend on God, your enemies will surprise you, and your light and life will become extinct. That's what that verse is saying. With fear and trembling, knowing what's on the line. We need to do everything we can to work out our salvation in a way that will change the world. And this verse comes right after a big, long passage on Jesus doing that. He humbled himself to the point of the cross. He closed his divineness to be a human. He did all that. He was humble and obedient. So now it's saying, now it's your turn. Work out your salvation. So we're going to help you tonight have your lives demonstrating faith. So you guys get to pick your breakout, and you get to pick what you want to learn about, talk about, become tonight. So I'm going to have all the breakout speakers come up, and they're going to tell you where they're going to be and what they're going to be talking about. If they don't know where they're going to be, it'll come up on the screen. That's cool too. And if you are online, then I have a special assignment for you guys. So listen to the topics because you're going to pick which one you would also like. So if you're a breakout speaker, come on up. You're going to explain where you're going. I'm actually one of them, and I'm going to be talking about your spiritual gift. When you get it, what you're supposed to do with it, what is it, what isn't it. And so if you've ever been curious about that, what are spiritual gifts and how do I know I have one, then come to my breakout. I'm going to be in the back room where the leaders hang out. And next up we have Chris Murphy.
Hey, everyone. What did we call it? Okay, basically it's how does God show us he loves us in a really big world? That's what we're going to be talking about.
All right, I am talking about the Old Testament. I'm going to give you the big picture of the entire Old Testament in 20 minutes or less. I did not grow up in church, and as a teenager, I had no idea the big picture of the Bible, and once I found that out, it unlocked the whole thing, and I will explain it to you in like a third grader because I'm the children's pastor, so you're good, you'll understand every word.
I'm going to be talking about if you don't know how to pray that well, I'll give a different way to pray with, I forget the word, acts. It stands for adoration, confession, thanks, and supplement what you want to apply to God apply to your life.
All right, so this is how you're going to work out your salvation. You want to know what your spiritual gift is? See me. You don't know how to pray or where to start? See Nick. If you're like, what's the deal with the Old Testament? How does it fit in with the New Testament? Go to Stacy's. And if you weren't at Winterfest, because he did this at Winterfest, you're like, how can God care about me with 1 billion people in the world? He's about to tell you. So if you are online watching this, as they leave, what I want you to do is pick which one of those you are most interested in, and I just want you to study it tonight. I want you to Google it. I want you to do a word study in the Bible, however you need to figure out what is going on. You can take a spiritual gifts test. You can Google what the Acts prayer is. You can look up the Old Testament. You can even just type in, how do I know God loves me? And see what comes up. And so if you are in the building, though, you are going to pick where you're going to go, and it's on the screen if you don't know where. So the music's going to play in a second after I pray, and then you're going to head to your breakout. Then I'll come find you when it's time for small groups. If you are online and you know us, like you go to this local church, you can also FaceTime in to someone that you know, and we'll get you part of it. All right. Jesus, thank you that you do all the work for salvation, and thank you that it then makes us different, and that you chose us to change the world. And I pray that you use tonight's topics to help us do that better. In your name, amen.